Finally, Tony, we get a schedule. Everyone's been waiting for this schedule. Like, what a match from a DAZN going to do for the first half of the year, or the first quarter of the year, and they've announced it. Let's kind of run through a few of those main fights from the schedule. I think the first one that we knew about was Wood-Lara, right? That happens February the 18th, Nottingham Arena. There's a fight that's supposed to happen a few months back. Lee Wood got injured. He's now been elevated to full champion, so he could have avoided Lara, but he's like, you know what? No, let's run it back. Let's go again. That's a big first one to kick off the year over here.
It's a dangerous one, Addy, when you consider what this boy's got as options. A Conlon rematch, an absolutely mouth-watering tie in the summer with Josh Warrington. I mean, Ellen Road, City Ground, take your pick, whichever one it is. It's massive, it's huge. So it is what it's labelled. It is literally dancing with the devil. This boy is not to be played with. But fair play to Lee Wood, mate. I can't wait to see it. Yeah,
it's a big one, it really is. And good luck to Lee Wood as well. Nottingham Arena, and as Tony said there, if he wins this one, then, I mean, it's the lottery in the summer, whether it be over here in the UK or going to chase those big fights in America. Let's just get straight to it. The big one announced today. The rumours have been circulating forever the last couple of months. AJ is back. It is Jermaine Franklin. It is April 1st. We spoke about this last week. The thing we didn't speak about last week, though, is that it isn't on pay-per-view. I mean, we're so used to AJ fighting on pay-per-view. He's been fighting on pay-per-view for years. This one isn't, and I think that's massive for DAZN subscribers, and massive that DAZN have done this as well.
I think it's huge, Addy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know how they're doing it. They are doing it. It's absolutely fantastic. You're bringing the country's biggest pay-per-view boxing star to a huge network, and a huge crowd that we're bringing at DAZN. So it's amazing. It's brilliant by the people at DAZN. The hierarchy and the heads at DAZN have really worked a magic trick with this one. They really have, because AJ on the normal stream is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to bring massive numbers in. And I think it's good as well that AJ's fighting back at the O2 Arena. For me, that's almost his home, right? That's where he became world champion. The last time he was there, I think, was Dominic Brazil. So it's been a long time. He's gone to the States, he's gone to stadiums, he's gone to the Middle East. He's now back in London, and it's been a good stomping ground for him as well. So he must be happy to come back.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and he's got someone who's going to push him. Let's just run this back a little bit. This guy pushed Dillian White all the way. It was a really close fight. Something he won, something he lost. I thought he lost, but I thought it was really close. And considering AJ's coming off the back of 2 defeats with now a new trainer and a new setup, there's a lot of questions to be answered. Addy, there really is. I mean, how's his hunger and desire? How's he enjoying preparing for this fight away from home? There's a lot more questions than there's answers right now. I think he'll come back and look absolutely fantastic. I think all the pressure's gone now. It's just about going in there and having a fight. Yeah, he's been world champion. He's been at the pinnacle of the sport. He's been a unified heavyweight champion of the world. He's fought the best fighters in the world consistently, time and time again. And anyone complaining about this opponent is absolutely mad, because just compare this to who you guys are calling the best heavyweight. Some people are calling the best heavyweight in the world, and look at his resume and comeback opponents. There's a lot to be answered for there. So I'm happy to just see him back, Addy. I don't want to tangle his name in with anybody else. I just want to see him come back. I want to see him back to his ruthless, clinical best.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. Obviously, you mentioned the new trainer there, Derek James, not officially announced, but there's a press conference coming up, fingers crossed, this week, and we'll get to see Derek James be unveiled as AJ's new trainer going forward. It's been built as a rebuild, and it starts with Jermaine Franklin, April 1st, live on DAZN, not pay-per-view. It's going to take me a while not to say DAZN pay-per-view, because I'm so used to AJ fighting on pay-per-view. Another big one, it's the back of Amanda Serrano beating Erica Cruz on the weekend. Katie Taylor was in the ring. They all had their belts. It felt like there was 100 belts in the ring. So much gold. I've never seen so much gold since Mr. T back in the A-Team days. But there's so much gold.
I ain't getting on no plane.
Yeah. And we're going to get this one again. We're going to get it in May. We're going to get it in Dublin. Now there's a question mark. Do we get it at the Free Arena? Do we get it at Croke Park? It's completely different venues here. The Free Arena, capacity 9,000. Croke Park, 80,000. Difficult. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to make it happen at Croke Park, but I feel like we might fall short of it. But regardless, it is good to see Katie Taylor back. Homecoming, which is crazy, that's going to happen in Ireland. That's good news regardless.
It's amazing. And when you've got someone of the magnitude of Conor McGregor shouting that he wants to sponsor the event to make it happen at Croke Park now, that's just unbelievable. I genuinely think she can fill 90,000, Daddy. I think the Irish boxing fans have been starved for a long time now of a big homecoming, of a big star, and there is no greater boxing Irish star than Katie Taylor. There is no one bigger. She is the face of boxing in Ireland. Not the face of men's boxing, not the face of women's boxing. She is just the face of boxing in Ireland.
I'm going to take it a step further. I spoke to a boxing journalist today from Ireland, and they say they do polls every year on the most famous Irish person. So not just fighter, not just musician, actor, everyone. And she's won it 6 years in a row.
Wow.
6 years in a row. So that's how famous she is. So look, they certainly can do Croke Park. And I really hope it comes through. It's going to be difficult. We know there are issues with regarding price, etc., stuff that we're not going to get involved in now before we say the incorrect information. But let's hope it can happen, because her versus Amanda, I think, deserves something very, very special. I'm with you, fingers crossed. Another fight that jumped out from the schedule is Joe Cordina gets his opportunity to get what he calls his belt back against Shavkat Rakhimov. We saw Rakhimov in the Middle East beat Zelfa Barrett to claim again Joe Cordina's belt. Obviously Joe Cordina stripped of the belt because of a hand injury. He gets the opportunity to go straight back in, and that's going to be a good one regardless of where it happens. That's going to be a special fight.
Yeah, I think it's a really good fight. I think it was a very bizarre decision to strip Joe Cordina. I think it was borderline insane, to be fair. The boy didn't even get a chance to defend his belt. He got injured in camp. Obviously, everyone's seen he had to have an operation on his hand and was in a really bad way. So it baffles me sometimes what these sanctioning bodies do. But I think the IBF were bang out of order to strip Joe Cordina. I really do. But it goes on now, Rakhimov, as we've seen, scrape past Zelfa Barrett, and now he's going in against Joe Cordina, who since after, before this first fight, before this Rakhimov fight, was one against the Gower, was one of the best knockouts I have seen. It was ruthless, it was brutal, and the hand damaged in quite a bad way. It's just an unfortunate incident, Addy. It really is, because he was about to hit the form of his life, and I really genuinely believe that. I think he'll go in there, and I think he'll get rid of Rakhimov as long as his hand's 100% in its right, and he warms into the fight nicely. I think he cops him again. Joe Cordina is a serious puncher, mate. It's not the actual power of the punch, Addy, it's the timing. That's what does it for Joe Cordina, the speed and the timing. And any fighter out there will tell you, speed and timing will always beat raw power. Every single time, and he's a master on it.
And if that wasn't enough, to round out the card as well, Tony, obviously we go to your neck of the woods. Callum Smith, big fight for him against Stepien. And I say a big fight because, let's not forget, he's WBC mandatory for Artur Beterbiev's belt, so he wins that one. And in the summer, it could be Smith versus Beterbiev. We've got a nice next-gen card in there as well. I think it's important to build these cards. We go to Newcastle, Cyrus Patterson against former British champion Chris Jenkins. And if you want more, then your favourite fighter, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, is out against Gonzalez in the States as well. So look, great card, a good mixture of upcoming fighters, big names, AJ Franklin, Katie Taylor-Serrano. I'm greedy, I'm already looking ahead to what we've got coming up in the summer, but I think so far, between February and May, I think it's fair to say that is stacked. And you know what the best thing is? Nothing on pay-per-view. I mean, come on, don't say we're not doing big things on DAZN.